name is Mubaiwa. I'm from Zimbabwe. I am the program officer for the Student Christian Movement of Zimbabwe, and I am also a member of the movement. Um, I am very privileged to have had the opportunity to come and be in solidarity with the Christian youth from Palestine. This experience really opened up my eyes to a lot of things because when you're living in your own country and you have your own problems, you tend not to think about what other youth are going through in the world. So this was an amazing experience because it showed me that there's hope and that there's a youth out there who are fighting for their freedom, just as everyone else is fighting for their freedom. But what really got me about the people from Palestine, the youth from Palestine, was the amount of zeal and hope that they have. It was the love that they share amongst each other and the will that they have to set themselves free. That was the most, I could say, enchanting thing about this experience because I got to witness a whole new form of being positive and love amongst people, and also solidarity amongst different people in the Middle East. That was just amazing, and I really had fun with the people here. I was actually telling my friends that you have not partied unless you've partied with people from the Middle East because they're so much fun. Besides being in solidarity and also getting to find ways in which we as the WSCF and our different regional SCMs can take part in helping the people in the Middle East through different campaigns and also even social media. Besides that, we actually got to be a family, and I think that was the most important aspect about this trip, is that we created bonds that would actually move us to help people, because even in the Bible, it says love your neighbor. Even the story about the Good Samaritan, it's not about religion, it's not about race, it's about trying to help each other as a youth in the world. So that was just the most important thing that I got from this experience, and I'm very privileged to have had the opportunity from the WSCF.
What do you think is the role of youth in working on the problems of their communities and the world?
I think the youth have played the biggest role because usually the youth are the larger part of the population, so it falls on our shoulders to actually do something. So our role would be to educate people on how to love each other, just as we love each other as youth without boundaries. So I think now that, because if the youth come together, and no matter where we're coming from, how different we are, we can actually get to go and spread that love that we've had, spread the knowledge that we've had to the communities. And that's where the change starts, because change starts from within, and then you go and give it out to other people, into the community, and from the community it grows. So I think that's our role, to start from the grassroots, because we have the access to the grassroots.
So why was it important to hear the voices of all the different Middle Eastern students in our training?
I think it was really important because sometimes when you're outside of the context, you get to, the only reliable information that you get is from the media, and that's from the TV, from the news, and usually that's very biased. I'm a scholar and I've been reading up about the Middle East. I considered myself to know about the Middle East, but now this trip has opened my eyes to a whole new world, because the things that I never knew were, my eyes were opened, basically. And so this trip really enabled me to change my perspective about how you judge things before you actually come and see the situation.
And then what are your hopes for the ways in which we can work together in WSCF to make a difference in overcoming violence in the Middle East?
I have so much hope and so much excitement, because I think the training and the ASC, we managed to find ways, practical ways that we could actually make a difference within the people of Palestine and the Middle East lives with regards to violence, because we came up with practical solutions and practical steps through social media campaigns. Everyone loves social media. So I think that's like one way to start, and we are youth, so we love social media. We love Facebook, Instagram. So I think using that and coming up with that initiative was actually quite a very strong position to take in terms of doing something. But also with regards to being in solidarity with the Middle East and Palestine through different options, like what we're considering with distributing kairos to our movements and educating people about what's going on in the Middle East, and especially in Palestine, the apartheid, because I think when apartheid ended in South Africa, people really didn't think that it still exists anywhere in the world, and especially like people from my region, we really are not open to these things because we just thought apartheid ended with the South African apartheid in '94. So I think now the things that we came up with, trying to educate the youth, we are going to create such a strong movement that is going to create a big voice in the world that can speak, and we will be heard.
Anything else you'd like to add?
I think I'd like to add that I'd like to thank the WSCF IRO for organizing this, and also the Middle East, because this was such a spiritual, emotional, and it was such a great trip, and I'm changed forever. I will never be the same again, and it's because I got to take part in something that is bigger than all of us.